My childhood friend is getting married, and I headed to the wedding venue to give my congratulations. But the bride stopped me in my tracks.
Can you, a high school dropout, stay away from us elites?
Confused, I was told to leave immediately by the bride. I was forcefully expelled halfway through, reluctantly leaving the venue in tears. All I could do was that much, without even being allowed to offer my congratulations. My name is Mary Cucumber. I'm a 30-year-old working in the IT industry. I have a childhood friend who is 2 years older than me, named Charlie Belland. Charlie and I were close, like siblings, always playing together. If anything, I was the one clinging to him, always sticking by his side wherever we went. Today, I was heading to the venue where the wedding of that childhood friend was taking place.
Charlie is getting married. It's a bit sad, but it's truly a joyous occasion.
Because we've known each other for so long, I can't help but feel a sense of loneliness, knowing we won't be able to casually meet like before. But more than that, I'm incredibly happy that he's finding happiness, and I was looking forward to today's wedding. Until the formula begins, I indulge in memories of Charlie. Life is a mysterious thing. I never imagined I would find myself in such a situation around the time I graduated from junior high. The truth is, I didn't go on to high school, but started working right after graduating from junior high. In contrast to me, Charlie entered a famous college preparatory school and successfully gained admission to a prestigious university. He was always smart from the start, and when we were children, he often taught me how to study. Being consistently at the top of his class at school, Charlie's impressive academic background comes as no surprise. Feeling the growing gap between him and me, I started to believe that we were living in completely different worlds. I encountered Charlie again when he graduated from university and entered the workforce. We ended up working at the same company. Our reunion after a long time brought up our excitement, and we reminisced about the past. Since then, while maintaining professional interactions, we continued to have lighthearted conversations like we used to in the past. It was when Charlie introduced his girlfriend to me that their marriage was decided. That day, we had a small drinking party with some mutual friends. They had a small drinking party. Charlie brought his fiancée, Rita, to the party. Rita is so good-looking that men in the world turn their heads to her. She is beautiful in appearance and was brought up by a wealthy young lady. The fact that Charlie got married to such a person and was brought up by a wealthy young lady, I was really happy. He is like family to me, and I was really happy to see him. I was really happy because he was like a family member and had a happy smile on his face. There was one thing that really bothered me. He smiles and talks with his friends, but for some reason she has a cold attitude towards me.
Rita, your skin is really beautiful, isn't it? Do you do any special skincare or something like that?
Not really.
In this manner, whenever I casually approach her, she responds with a somewhat distant attitude. I wondered if I had done something to offend her, but in the first place, we just met today, and there's no reason for her to hold a grudge. However, as I observed her talking with Charlie, she truly seemed happy, and it was evident that Charlie cherished her deeply. Although Rita's attitude bothered me a little, it's natural for people to have people who we don't get along with. Perhaps she simply felt that we didn't get along. There's no need to dwell on it. As long as Charlie is happy, that's enough. I resolved it within myself like that, and I planned to celebrate their wedding grandly. And so, today is the day of the wedding ceremony. The ceremony was to be attended only by relatives, while we, the friends and acquaintances, were invited to the reception, eager to see the couple in their wedding attire. I arrived at the venue a little earlier than scheduled. There's still plenty of time until the ceremony, so I thought of going to greet Charlie. While thinking that, I headed towards the waiting room and was approached by a staff member near the entrance.
Is it Miss Mary Cucumber?
Yes, that's me. What's the matter?
The bride is waiting for you. I'll show you the way.
As instructed by the staff, I was taken away with them. What on earth could this be about? Why would Rita be waiting for me? No matter how much I think about it, I can't understand the reason. When we met before, She seemed so uninterested in having any involvement with me. So what could be the purpose of her summoning me now? Lost in these thoughts, I was led to the waiting room, where Rita was waiting. There she stood, dressed in a pure white gown, radiating beauty that captivated me. Just as it was a perfect opportunity, when I tried to offer my congratulations, she cut me off with a single word.
Listen,
Before I could speak, she uttered unexpected words. She then continued speaking and said words that caught me off guard.
Why did you come? What exactly do you intend?
that? What do you mean?
While glaring at me with intensity, she coldly lashed out at me. Unable to comprehend the meaning behind her words, I stood there bewildered, while she continued to question me with her icy demeanor.
I overheard something. Is it true that you only graduated middle school?
Why would someone ask such a thing? Certainly what she's saying is true, but I don't understand what it has to do with her. I'm confused, not knowing how to answer, and in response, Rita laughs contemptuously and says, "Charlie is an elite, you know."
I can't understand why he still associates with someone like you.
It was clearly a condescending remark. Why would someone with a low education associate with an elite like Charlie? Rita continues to insult me, finding it presumptuous that I interact with her, despite our different backgrounds. It seems that in her eyes, I am nothing more than someone at that level. Her heartless words continue to pierce through me. Both Charlie and her come from elite families, and naturally the people we associate with are all elites. Elites must choose their associates carefully, and it is inconceivable for someone with a low education to casually interact with them.
You're just a bottom-tier individual and a computer geek, aren't you? Did you really think that by associating with him you could become an elite too?
With a disdainful and unpleasant smirk, Rita provokes me with those words. Furthermore, she nitpicks about the fact that Charlie and I work in the same workplace. To work in the same workplace as him, I'm not just a stalker. I didn't mean it like that.
Interrupting my bewildered words, Rita continues to look down on me.
Well, but he chose me. You're a loser.
Saying that, Rita advises me not to attend the wedding, and she absolutely forbids me from having any contact with Charlie. Just because I only have a middle school education, I've always felt the harsh judgment of society. But why does it have to be taken this far? She is now completely displaying hostility towards me. Is it because our educational backgrounds are different that we become such distant beings?
At least as childhood friends, let me offer my congratulations.
Even if I plead, I told you that would be a bother.
Don't low-educated people understand that much?
It seems she has no intention whatsoever of letting me meet Charlie. As I gradually feel my heart being torn apart, she adds insult to injury.
Just so you know, he feels the same way. It's a nuisance to be constantly followed by you.
No, Charlie wouldn't say something like that.
I didn't want to believe it. My childhood friend, who had always joked around and laughed together, actually thought of me as a bother. Charlie is not the kind of person to say such things. While telling myself so, I can't help but think that maybe the environment has changed him in such shock, I feel all strength leaving my body.
Did you understand? That's why you should leave immediately.
Saying that, Rita forcibly expelled me. As instructed by her, I walked slowly towards the entrance of the venue, and then I suddenly noticed tears streaming down my cheeks.
Why? I wonder why. The tears won't stop.
Those tears continued to flow unceasingly for a while. After I had calmed down, I left the venue and entered a nearby cafe. While drinking coffee, I reflected once again on the memories I had with Charlie. Was Charlie always annoyed by me? Because of the words Rita said, I can't help but become suspicious and doubtful. Of course, he must have a kind personality, there's no doubt about that. But maybe because of that, he couldn't bring himself to tell the truth and endured it all. However, even if that was the case, thanks to him, I had enjoyable days, and that won't change. As I pondered about what to do, and that won't change. As I pondered about what to do, my phone notified me of a message. Where are you now? The wedding is about to start.
Upon reading that message, thoughts began to gather in my mind.
I wanted to at least convey my congratulations, and I couldn't just go back as if nothing happened. I couldn't accept that.
No, I can't just do nothing like this. With that thought, I returned to the venue once again.
When I returned to the venue, the wedding had already begun. I informed the staff that I was late and made my way to my designated seat. That's when it happened.
Hey, why are you here?
Rita noticed me, raising her voice, staring at me with an angry expression. Seeing her like that, Charlie and his relatives wore expressions of confusion. Although their reaction bothered me, I approached the microphone. This caused a stir among the audience, wondering what was going on.
I am Charlie's childhood friend. My name is Mary Cucumber. First of all, congratulations on your marriage. However, the reason I am able to be involved with both of you will come to an end today. What do you mean by end, Mary?
Charlie looked puzzled, unable to understand the meaning of my words. His reaction only intensified the discomfort I felt earlier. But now, it's important to express my own feelings. With that in mind, I continued speaking.
Just now, Rita told me that our worlds are different. It seems like she doesn't want me to be involved anymore. Therefore, after today, I will sever ties with both of you.
With those words, the celebratory atmosphere in the venue suddenly changed. Charlie widened his eyes while Rita wore a triumphant smile on her face. I couldn't tell what thoughts lay behind her expression. But there was something else I needed to convey. After taking a deep breath, I uttered those words.
Due to certain circumstances, Charlie will be dismissed from our company after today. Are the two of you okay with that?
The moment I said that, Rita's smirking expression turned into utter confusion, as if she couldn't comprehend my words. On the other hand, Charlie trembled and confronted Rita with a quivering voice.
Rita, what did you say to Mary?
His expression as he confronted her was filled with an anger I had never seen before. He didn't break his usual calm atmosphere, but his sudden transformation was not hidden from Rita's bewilderment.
Well, a high school dropout like her? I just told her that our world is different from the world of elites like us. Why would you say something like that? Apologize to her right now.
Miho is the president of our company, you know?
With Charlie's statement, Rita's eyes widened even further. Yes, the truth is that we actually work in the same company, because he joined my company as a new graduate. That was the circumstance.
Why is a low-educated woman like her? Why is someone from an elite family like you employed by a woman like her? To the trembling Rita, Charlie whispered quietly.
I'm not my parents' biological child.
Yes, the truth is that Charlie and I both grew up in an institution. We originally grew up in the same facility. From the time we were conscious, we were always together, and we considered each other as family. But when Charlie was in the first year of middle school, the Bellins couple came to the institution and adopted him. I remember feeling a sense of loss when he, who I had always been with, was no longer there. Afterward, as someone who grew up in a facility, I immediately started working instead of going to high school. I didn't want to inconvenience the people at the facility that much, and above all, I wanted to become someone who could stand alongside Charlie in society as soon as possible. Although we lived in different places, we had exchanged contact information, so we were able to keep up with each other's current situations while working as a professional. I pursued self-study in various IT-related subjects. Afterward, I resigned from my company and took on various freelance jobs, accumulating funds to establish my current company. Continuing my self-study and gaining experience as a freelancer paid off, allowing my company to achieve rapid growth before expanding its operations. I was able to come this far because there was a promise made when Charlie left the facility.
When we eventually enter society, we'll do something big. That will make our abandoned parents regret it.
Yeah, I feel like I can do anything with Charlie. But promise me you won't break our promise, okay?
It was because of that promise that I was able to move forward without wavering. And now, with Charlie's support, I have been able to grow even higher.
So that's impossible for a high school dropout to be able to do such a thing.
Rita still doesn't want to acknowledge me. Or rather, she's already backed herself into a corner. Well, it was her who jumped to conclusions based on her own values without even verifying the facts. Frankly speaking, she brought it upon herself, though. There's one more thing I need to tell Rita myself. By the way, our company also has business dealings with Rita's father's company.
If you're telling me to stay away, should I naturally assume we'll be ending our transactions?
Upon hearing those words, Rita, of course, and her parents turned pale. And for good reason. For her father's company, we are a major client compared to others. If our business with them were to cease, it's certain they would suffer a significant blow. Rita's father, in a panicked state, urges her to apologize while kneeling down. However, her pride seems to be getting in the way of that.
I hate such disgraceful acts like kneeling. I didn't know anything, and I did it for Charlie's sake.
In the end, she says that and bursts into tears. I'm beyond exasperated, unable to find any words. Without sympathizing with her in the slightest, Charlie continues speaking in a cold tone.
You insulted my precious family, he said. Crying won't make me forgive you.
The meaning behind those words and what it implies, I think most people could easily imagine. Ignoring the sobbing Rita, Charlie bowed to the guests and spoke these words.
I will cancel the marriage with her, he said. We will return all the wedding gifts in full.
With those words, he bowed and apologized. At that moment, Rita, who had been crying, frantically tried to stop Charlie.
Wait a minute. You must be joking, right?
I can't marry someone who disrespects my important family. Sorry, but let's pretend this conversation never happened.
His words were enough to fill Rita with despair. Charlie approached me and apologized for causing me the trouble. He hadn't changed at all, just as I suspected. I felt relieved by that and showed him a smile. Then, Rita looked at me and Charlie with a hateful voice.
Don't play around. You two were together from the beginning, weren't you?
She made an outrageous accusation. In the first place, it's highly unlikely that Charlie and I were together. I actually have another fiancé, you know. Yes, in reality, I had become involved with someone I met through business dealings, and we were already engaged. This matter was discussed at a previous drinking party, and it seems that she didn't listen at all.
Well, then I'll claim damages for breaking off the engagement.
Well, I think that's probably impossible because, Rita, you have insulted me.
This time, Charlie's decision to break off the engagement was due to Rita's excessive words and actions towards me. If this can be a valid reason, there is a possibility that no compensation will be incurred.
Why am I going through this? To such an uneducated woman like you.
Because you are supposed to be a beloved daughter-in-law to my family. If you keep making a fuss, I won't forgive you for real.
When I said this coldly, Rita seemed frightened, and her expression twisted. And until the end, she seemed like she wanted to say something, but she fell silent, drooping her head in disappointment. Afterwards, Charlie and Rita officially terminated their engagement. The cost of the venue will be covered by her parents. It seems to serve as an apology for the trouble caused by their daughter. As for compensation, there was no valid reason recognized, so it was not claimed. Due to this incident, Rita has been viewed with cold eyes by those around her, and it seems she has lost a lot of trust.
I am the daughter of an elite family. Why doesn't anyone acknowledge me?
She still complains, even now, and it seems difficult for her to change in the future. Charlie is still working at my company. He said he's tired of romance for a while, and he wants to make work his lover. Honestly, I want him to find happiness, but it seems like he should start by cultivating his ability to choose a nice woman before that. And we're still joking around and laughing together.